Hi there. Cheers. One of the best ways to wake up in the morning is, of course, not to have an alarm clock, but to have a cat who really desires to sleep on your bed and will go to any lengths in order to make sure that you wake up. My cat, great creature, love him to bits, but he has decided that the best way of waking up is to put his backside in my face. So after I'd woken up and I'd had myself a thorough shower, I thought I must get back to making a video. Now, everyone out there will eventually get an experience which will prove that I have been right all along. Okay? I think the question is quite simply, would you rather do it, whilst you're still alive? That's just the way it seems to me. My opinion is that consciousness carries on after death. Now, it's an opinion, okay? It's a point of view, it's whatever you want to call it. I mean, none of us can turn around and say this is hard and fast truth, but on the other hand, it does. If I add up all of the experiences I've had over the years, and I mean all of them, and I take out the ones which were, quite likely to do with hallucination or jumping to too many conclusions because I didn't know enough and I really wanted to, find the truth at the time, then yeah, it just does seem like consciousness carries on after death. It's just the way it seems, okay? And that there's other things out there as well, other forms of consciousness. So it would therefore make sense that when you do die, that there is some kind of progression onto another stage. The secret can only be to try and have an experience or a series of experiences before you die in order to make you think that there's a possibility of life after death or survival of the consciousness in one form or another. Of course, it wouldn't be life because you'd be dead, which makes sense. But the survival of some part of your awareness. I mean, if you have an astral projection, if you had this, that, and the other happen, then it just makes sense that that's the way it is. But then it's a question of knowing that. What should your life be about? Now, you can't spend your entire life dedicated to trying to improve your skills in these things, because you've got to live and you've got to work and you've got to pay your bills and you've got to look after yourself, and then of course you need your downtime to relax. So there has to be some kind of intermediate solution and some kind of attitude that we can take to everything in your life so that you can still carry on progressing in the right direction and hoping to have some kind of relevant experiences on the way. Science itself doesn't know everything, and scientists don't know everything, and doctors don't know everything, but they present themselves as if they do because it's good for their research. And there's nothing wrong with that. They are self-promoters. It's up to us to be able to work out where they're right and where they're wrong, and get some kind of properly balanced opinion. And then of course you got the other lot, JREF and all those guys who are going the other way because they've got their own ministry to bring into the world. And I'm not saying they don't do any good. I think they do some good, because it gives people the ability to be skeptical and to have a more refined structure of understanding the meaning of the word truth. Okay? How to bring that about, though? That's the question. And how could you fit that into your life, taking into account the restrictions on your life and all your responsibilities? That's the challenge. That is the challenge, above all, and beyond everything else. And then you got the self-developmental aspect, and you can't get all of that from spirituality. You can only get, well, you can get a good percentage of it from that, but not everything. So we're humans. All of us are flawed like crazy. We're always off the mark in one form or another. Okay? And when we're looking at different religious groups and different like New Age groups and different political groups fighting each other, it's not even like we're seeing the people fighting each other. It's like we're seeing the character defects fighting people with other character defects. You know, sicknesses fighting against sicknesses. As if to turn around and say, like, you know, our madness, our problems are somehow better than yours. Don't you think that's crazy? Just a thought.